Today, we took every team's all-time greatest point guard and put them onto the current team. So we did this for all 30 teams. I just said team like 30,000 times, you already know. But we're basically going to be going ahead and show you guys the rosters here. We're going to simulate a season, see if anything changes, if awards change, stuff like that. And you guys can see the example right here. I didn't take out James Harden because I kind of consider him a combo guard, and I also consider Allen Iverson a combo guard. But so it's kind of like I put them both here. I took out Tyrese Maxey and I put them both here. And basically what I did was I replaced the best point guard on the team, obviously, and put the all-time point guard in. And for teams that had like their all-time point guard on the team right now, I just made them a 99 overall. So you'll see some cases of that. I think there's like 4 cases of that, or 5, maybe 5, where teams already had the best point guard on the team at the time. So you know, guys, I don't have to worry about me cheating the system or anything. We made it pretty good here. So right here we got Embiid, Allen Iverson, and James Harden. This right here is going to be very interesting to watch this season. Allen Iverson and James Harden combo is, yeah, that's going to be interesting. And I took all these players from the all-time versions of their team, so it's not my ratings or anything. It's really what 2K rated them. Now we go over to the Bucks over here. You got Giannis and you got Oscar Robertson now, and Chris Middleton, Brook Lopez. So they have Dame, which honestly, Dame and Oscar Robertson, Oscar's a worse fit at this point. I think they would rather have Dame in this situation, but obviously they got a little bit of an upgrade. But I feel like they kind of like moved laterally there. And if you guys want me to do this for like other positions as well, I could do a video on a shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center. I can continue this and do this a 5-part series. So let me know down below in the comment section if you guys want to see that. But we do at the Bulls, they have Derrick Rose back on the team here. So they got Zach LaVine, Derrick Rose, DeMar DeRozan, Vucevic, and all the role players. This top 3, they're going to be finishing like crazy, bro. Especially at top 2, they're going to be dunking on everybody. I think this team's going to do pretty good, but there are some OP teams you guys will see very soon, actually, very, very soon. The Cavs got Kyrie, and there's actually 2 versions of Kyrie because I kept Kyrie on the Mavs. Spoiler alert. So the Kyrie is on the Cavaliers here with Donovan Mitchell now, and they lost, I think, what, Darius Garland was it? They lost? I think that's the point guard that they lost right here. But yeah, now they basically have Donovan Mitchell and Kyrie, which that's a pretty good duo. It just doesn't have much defense, honestly. And then they got defense on their big men here. So I honestly think the Cavs can do pretty good. I think Kyrie's an upgrade for sure. Let me go over to the Celtics. We got Bob Cousy. People might not like that pick, but it's really the highest rated point guard on their team. And now they got Jason Tatum, Bob Cousy, Jaylen Brown, and Kristaps. I think they became one of the most OP teams. They're one of the teams that became OP. Then the rivals, the Lakers, also became pretty OP later on. They basically, who did they even replace? I forgot who I even replaced. I think it was this like Malcolm Brogdon, which he was traded. I don't know who I traded because he was traded. So I did some like random point guard that wasn't even crazy good. I remember that. It wasn't like a super high rated overall. The Clippers got Chris Paul now. They got him back, which that could be all their issues solved. They got Chris Paul, Paul George, and Kawhi now. And they still have like players here. They all lost Russell Westbrook. That's who they lost in his situation. So that's a huge upgrade right there for them. We go over to the Grizzlies. John Morant, best point guard of all time. So I just made him a 99 overall because these teams aren't going to get like an extra player that's really good. So I was like, you know what? We'll just give him a 99 overall. I don't know any other way to balance him more than that either. Maybe I can give him like an 85 overall point guard, like one of their mid-tier point guards from all time, and then also make their current point guard 99. But I don't know about that. You guys let me know if I do more parts of the series. You guys let me know how I can do that maybe in the comments. Trae Young had another one right here, so I just made him a 99 overall. But you see, like these rosters, not really gonna make a difference in this situation because of how OP some of these teams became. So we're gonna have to figure that out for future videos. The Heat got Tim Hardaway right here, and that's decent. But I figured there would be a better point guard, or at least he would be a higher rated overall. He's not. He's only 89 overall, so that's kind of interesting to think about. But they did join the NBA in like I think it was like the mid 90s, so they're kind of a new team anyway. They joined at the same time as the Magic, I'm pretty sure, so like maybe early 90s actually. So they do have Jimmy Butler, they got Bam, they got Tyler Hero. This team I don't think is going to do too well. Maybe though they will, because 2K always overrates the Heat because of what they do in real life. And then the Hornets, they got Kemba. I just gave them LaMelo Ball. I kept LaMelo Ball here because they suck. Like imagine just Kemba and everybody else. It was already LaMelo Ball and everybody else. So they suck. They're still going to suck. But I was like, let's put Kemba and LaMelo and see what happens. I'm pretty interested in that, especially because LaMelo is 6'7", so he can just play shooting guard at that point. And then we got the Jazz. They got John Stockton. That's actually huge. You don't really care about this because no one else on this team is really that great in 2K. So it's just John Stockton probably going to average like 10, 12 assists or something like crazy like that. I don't know how many assists. It's the prime version of him. Oscar Robertson is back again on the Kings. This team could be interesting, but it replaced De'Aaron Fox. I probably should have made this one where I just like replaced like Malik Monk or something so they could actually compete, but they're not going to compete this year, I don't think. Then you got the Knicks with Walt Frazier. They could compete because I kept Jalen Brunson, so I kind of did favoritism there. That kept Jalen Brunson here. I also considered Jalen Brunson more of a shooting guard than a point guard, I'm not going to lie, because of when he played with Luka. So Walt Frazier, also a little bit of like a potential combo guard, potentially. In theory, at least. So, you know, we got a decent little team here. I don't think the Knicks are really going to do anything, though. Now, Lakers, they became super OP. obviously, because they got Magic Johnson. They replaced D'Lo. So now they got literally a big three of LeBron James, Magic Johnson, Anthony Davis, then you got Austin Reeves and the rest of their bench. The Lakers might win the championship here, especially because they got like crazy playmaking and size between their top two right here. They're both 6'9", literally both 6'9". Now the Magic, they ended up getting Penny Hardaway, but it's not really going to do anything to help them out because like these guys see the other rosters, man. Everyone else kind of just sucks on this team besides Penny. Paulo is still young, so he's still progressing. Now Luka was the best point guard, so that's made him at 99 overall. And now they just got Kyrie at 90 and everyone else the same. It's pretty much going to be the same team. They're probably not going to make the playoffs, to be honest with you, unless Luka carries them. Absolutely carries them. Now the Nets got Jason Kidd. That would have been cool if like they still had KD and stuff, but they don't have KD still. So it's literally just Jason Kidd, Mikal Bridges, and like just role players realistically. Like they're not going to really do anything in this team, I don't think. And then Nuggets, their best point guard was pretty much like still Jamal Murray, but Fat Lever was a slightly higher overall. So I was like, you know what? Why not just give them Fat Lever 92 overall? Because I don't want to make Jamal Murray a 99 either. So I ended up just giving him Fat Lever. Probably a downgrade, to be honest, just because Jamal fits so well right there, but we'll have to see about that. The Pacers got this guy I never heard of, Freddie Lewis. They technically, I could have kept Tyrese, but they're so bad. If I had just kept Tyrese, I could have made him a 99, but they still would have been bad. So I just gave them just, I kind of felt bad. And I just wanted to be able to have a bit in this video where I had no idea who this dude was. Then we got Chris Paul and the Pelicans making his appearance for the second time. And he actually nearly made 3 appearances in this video, but I kind of cut the line. I drew the line. I want Chris Paul 3 times in this video, so I only gave him here. Chris Paul on the Pelicans. This team could actually do some damage. This depends on how like Zion and Brandon Ingram do this season. Just because Chris Paul could just play make like crazy and be a perfect playmaker and like scorer for them. And then the Pistons got Isaiah Thomas, the old one, not from the 80s. So you guys are gonna be able to go crazy with him. I kept Cade because Cade does suck. So it's like, yeah, there's no point. There's no point. He sucks in 2K at least. It's like there's no point of even like risking that. So then what we did right here was put Kyle Lowry in the Raptors. Raptors are going to be bad as well. Then we go to the Rockets. Calvin Murphy. Chris Paul was, I think, a 90 overall, and he was a 91 overall. I nearly put Chris Paul here, but I drew the line because I was like, I'm not having 3 Chris Pauls. It wouldn't have made a difference anyway. They're probably not going to make the playoffs. Then we go to the Spurs. Tony Parker. This team's not going to do anything just because they're so young. They don't really have anybody else. So Tony Parker is probably going to average like crazy points and assists. Wemby's going to do his thing, but they might just make the playoffs in the play-in tournament or something. Now, the Suns are OP. They got Steve Nash on top of Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. I could have just did Devin Booker for Steve Nash, but I was like, I feel like Bradley Beal's going to play more point guard than Devin Booker, to be honest with you. Or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I should have just replaced Devin Booker and not make him super OP. But they got the big 3 here. Steve Nash is going to be a perfect playmaker for this team, actually, like literally perfect. They just have no defense still. Now the Thunder, Russell Westbrook was the 2nd highest overall. I think Gary Payton was the same overall as him, but I thought out to my head, I was like, I want to do actual Thunder players. I don't want to do Supersonic. So Russell Westbrook here. Honestly, kind of thinking about it, I could have just got rid of Josh Giddey and put Gary Payton here anyway, and it wouldn't really made a difference. I could have put both of them, but you know, the comments are still going to get mad either way, I think. Timberwolves, we got Sam Cassell. This team is decent. When I was making this roster, I was like, yo, this team could do good. But while looking at it right now, they're not going to do good. When we just looked at all the other teams, they could do all right. They're going to make the playoffs for sure, but they're not going to do good. Damian Lillard is back on the Trailblazers again, but they're not really going to do anything at all. And then you get the Warriors with Prime Curry. And Chris Paul, it would have been here 4 times, actually. Fun fact, because he's on the Warriors, obviously. So he would have been here 4 total times instead of 2 or 3 in this case, which that's why I drew the line as well. And then we got Gilbert Arenas for Wizards. I was going to put John Wall here, but he's a lower overall in the all-time team. I realistically could have put both once again. Look at all the players. These are the overalls, and let's go ahead and simulate a season right now and see what happens. And man, that was like the longest intro I've ever done. I'm sorry if that was a little bit boring, but we kind of had to go through every team. If you guys enjoyed that intro as well, because we did a lot of talking, we cut it up and stuff like that. I hope it wasn't too boring for you guys. And Trae Young wins MVP. That was not my pick at all for who would win MVP in this situation. Wemby Rookie of the Year, because obviously he's like the best rookie still. 6th Man of the Year is Chris Paul. Which Chris Paul is it? It's the Warriors Chris Paul. We all know this one. Defensive Player of the Year is Nick Claxton. Most Improved Player Paul Reed. A lot of the same awards actually. That's kind of crazy. MVP was the only thing that really changed there. Now we go over here. Coach of the Year Nick Nurse, 65 and 17. So that's what the Sixers ended up going. Executive of the Year, 57 and 25. That's what the Celtics went with Jacob Park. That looks like Tyler Hero, like low key. Now we continue here. The first team. I'm surprised it's not all point guards. I mean, technically it is besides Jokic. So all point guards besides Jokic. And the second one has Giannis and LeBron still, but it has 3 point guards. And then the third one has all point guards. That's funny, bro. That's actually really funny. And let's go look at the NBA standings here. Let's see what's going on. So the first team by far in the East was the Sixers. The West by even more by far were the Lakers. So the Lakers actually, who underwhelmed? I want to see. So I was right about the Pacers. The Wizards did bad. The Pistons, the Hornets, the Magic, the Raptors, the decent, the Bucks. How did the Bucks do so bad? I guess that really was a downgrade, man, getting Oscar. And then the Heat, I guess I was kind of right about them in a way. The Cavs, I was not right about at all. Man, they're the 7th seed. They're the play-in tournament. What about the West? Who disappointed in the West? The Rockets, okay. Spurs, Mavericks, Thunder, Jazz. Okay, these all make sense. All these make sense for sure, like 100%. The Nuggets don't. I don't know how they finished the 7th. I guess that really was a downgrade for them. The Suns don't make sense. I don't know how they finished the 6th. But let's go ahead and simulate the play-in tournament and see what happens. So the Trailblazers made it out, the Nuggets made it out, the Bucks made it out, and the Cavs made it out, which actually probably the best teams in those situations. Let's go ahead and get to the conference finals though. Let's see what happens in round number 1. And the Lakers end up getting to the second round. Same with the Pelicans with Chris Paul. So how many Chris Pauls are currently in the game right now? So we got Chris Paul on the Pelicans. We got Chris Paul on the Warriors. The Clippers, Chris Paul is gone. It was actually Chris Paul versus old Chris Paul team. This is the Chris Paul video basically. What if I just did a video about Chris Paul? Just put Chris Paul on all of his teams. That's actually, yo, I might hit up Med on that one real quick. Hit up Click and Med. Like, yo, do a video where you put a player on all the teams in simulated seasons. See what happens. No, that's too short of a video. We get the Warriors and the Suns. So Steve Nash versus Curry basically. And you got Chris Paul with the bench. Chris Paul is doing his thing, bro. Then you got Magic Johnson versus Chris Paul. So Chris Paul's a lot in this video. You got James Harden / Allen Iverson versus Jason Kidd. And then you got Bob Cousy versus Trae Young. What's going to happen? Who knows? Let's go ahead and simulate. There's been no game 7s. Oh no, there was a game 7 down here in the lower seed. That's the only game 7 was the Warriors versus Nuggets. That's kind of crazy. So it's the Warriors versus Lakers and the Sixers versus Hawks. So we got Magic Johnson versus Stephen Curry. So, and Chris Paul. Don't forget about Chris Paul. And then over here, we got James Harden and Allen Iverson versus Trae Young. So let's go ahead and simulate. Oh my God, did they both just sweep? Okay, no, they got one game. The Hawks got one game. So I forgot to look at who won. I don't know if I can even check that. I don't think I can. But anyway, it's the Lakers versus Sixers here. So Magic Johnson just willed his way all the way, like pretty easily, lost just 2 games, that's it. And then the Sixers, they did their thing as well. They lost 2, both teams only lost 2 games. The Sixers got James Harden, Allen Iverson duo, which in hindsight might be OP, but they don't really have anybody else besides Embiid. And then the Lakers, I have a feeling if the Lakers are going to win right now. I just have a feeling. I really do have a feeling that they're going to win this series. I tried to hit circle and it didn't let me hit circle. I was trying to go to Simcast. Well, the Lakers have won the championship. Magic Johnson wins the finals MVP. 22-8-9-1-1. I think they were up like 3-0 or like 3-1. And then the Sixers came back. Or it might have been the other way around. I don't know. Somebody was up 3-1. I just saw that. And the Lakers came back. But that's basically what happens when we put the best point guards in the league on the team. Magic Johnson barely missed anything. That's kind of crazy. He just went crazy that game. You guys want to see this with shooting guards, power forward, centers next? Comment down below. That's going to be it for this video, guys. I'm out.